Nessa girl, it's so much mess and confusion going on out here in this hot ass sun that I had to rush back home to call you to clear up a whole lot of things. We got three things we got to clear up. We got to clear up number one, if Carlisha Hood summons for her son to come in there and shoot that man or not. We got to clear up, is Trina pregnant or not? And we got to clear up, is this black woman who visited El Paso, Texas, thought she was going to Mexico or no when she shot the shit out that Uber driver and killed that poor Mexican man. Girl, do you want to talk about it? You ain't got no choice. Here you go. Nessa girl, I had to get back on the line and call you because the girls was calling my line and ringing my email and getting me together in the DM saying that I had a bit of misinformation when it came to the Carlisha Hood story. I originally said that she summoned for the young man, she texted the young man, she called for her son to come in, to help her fight, to come shoot the man. And we are later finding out that the son was outside, he heard the commotion, he came in on his own recognizance. He stood there. He witnessed his mom getting beat up. She did not call for him. He was already there. So I definitely want to clear that up. I am never above reproach. I am never above correction, with the exception of having to clear up the fact that she did not summons him. I still stand by everything else I did say in my video, even down to women making sons their emotional husbands. Even if it doesn't necessarily pertain to this video, the information still holds true. Even down to sitting up, arguing with the man, you know what I'm saying? Putting people in harm's way because you just can't play it cool. I still stand by all of that, but I do want to correct the fact that she did not call for the young man. But I also want to say this to y'all, right? Because a lot of y'all want to jump in and y'all really think y'all be saying something when y'all be like, you need to do your research. You need to do your research. Well, what happens when you've done your research? And when you get your information from factual news sites, that is what they're reporting. I got a lot of people in my messages from Chicago who are expressing that there is a lot of confusion, that is what news outlets in Chicago were initially reporting. That's the information I was armed with. I've later found out that it's the girlfriend of Jeremy Brown, the gentleman that was shot, who initially said that that Carlisha Hood called for her son, and the son came up there and shot the man. So that's the information that was out, y'all, and that's the information that I use. Again, I apologize for any confusion, but please don't beat me up, because as far as I was concerned, I had done my research. And that was the best information available to me at the time in which I had did the video. But moving right along, something else we want to clear up, baby. Trina had done woo-woo, got her ass woo-woo on the stage, woo-woo, at the BET Awards, woo-woo, and y'all was not here for it. Girl, y'all had done said the lady was pregnant. And here's the funny thing, right? I live in Miami. I am 1 degree of separation from Trina. And I am not going to lie to you. When I looked at Trina, I noticed that her stomach was round, right? And listen, people gain weight all type of different ways. But because her stomach was round, I was like, oh, wow, she just might be pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And people keeping it on the low or whatever the case may be. And so for Trina's camp, and for Trina's fans, and for Trina's supporters, and for Trina herself, people form theories and opinions based off what they see. And I'm keeping it 100, and it's not about minding your business or not minding your business. I think any reasonable person would have looked at Trina and at least noticed, A, she's gained a considerable amount of weight, or B, her stomach is looking a little round. She may be pregnant. All right? Now listen, we're not going to sit up here and body shame Trina. You know what I'm saying? Trina is in her late 40s, approaching 50. Folks can't hold on to being thin, slim, and trim all their damn lives. But what they can do is control what they wear on the stage and even wear control top garments if they see forth to do so. Now, listen. Trina is the diamond princess. Trina got plenty money. And with plenty money come plenty mirrors. All right? I'm sure Trina saw what she looked like when she put that shit on and she still chose to wear it. So, if the outfit fit or if it don't fit, wear it. Trina and her camp have to accept this backlash. Like, you can't come down on people like we fucking stupid for making an observation. All right? And this is not a read. It's just an observation. Your stomach did look round and rotund. All right? Now, again, we're not going to body shame people. But here's the other thing about it. Right now, I was having a conversation over lunch with people about this. There are some entertainers who make it a point to keep their physical appearance a certain way, whether it's exercise, diet, and or surgery, in order to maintain their brands and their careers. Trina, for whatever reason, has either chosen not to do so or may have some health issues that don't allow for her to do so. But when you start looking at people like Shantae Moore, Jennifer Lopez, hell, even senile ass Patti LaBelle, these are all examples of people who take their craft extremely serious, recognize the fact that they work in the visual arts, and have made it a conscious effort to make sure that they look a certain way. And I'm not suggesting, nor am I saying Trina has to, but there are people who take their craft that serious and want to maintain a certain appearance for as long as they can. Now, for all we know, Trina may be dealing with some health issues that make maintaining weight, gaining weight, losing weight a challenge for her, and we do not know. I'm glad her team cleared it up, but I just want to say for the record, team, y'all can't treat us like we crazy. Okay? You can't treat us like we crazy because her stomach is extremely round, starting from the titty area down to the coochie. It doing like this. So what do you expect people to think? Reasonably. Before you get an attitude, check the wardrobe. Check the wardrobe department before you come check us. Okay? And last but not least, y'all, did y'all hear about the story about the lady down in Texas, child? Black lady from Kentucky visiting her boyfriend in Texas, got in an Uber in El Paso, passed a sign that said Mexico, shot the shit out the man because she thought the goddamn man was carrying her to Mexico. Lord have mercy. Let me read y'all this story real quick. A Kentucky woman visiting Texas that shot and killed her Uber driver after claiming he was trying to kidnap her is now facing murder charges. Phoebe Copus, 48, was booked in El Paso after her arrest on June 16th. Her bail was increased to $1.5 million after charges were upgraded from aggravated assault causing bodily injury to murder after the driver died. The family of 56-year-old Daniel Piedra Garcia, 52, bitch, I said that good, told KTSM that he was removed from life support on Wednesday. His niece told the outlet that he was not a criminal nor a kidnapper. A GoFundMe has been created by his wife, who described him as the sole provider of the household. Last Friday, officers responded to a call for a shooting at 2:19 p.m. on the US 54 South. According to a press release from the El Paso Police Department, at some point during the drive, Copus thought she was being taken into Mexico and not Piedra. The release said Copus allegedly pulled out a revolver and shot Garcia in the head and the wrist. Subsequently, the car crashed into a highway barrier. Instead of calling 911, see, that's where she went wrong, Copus took pictures of the critically wounded Garcia, texted it to her boyfriend. The boyfriend, who has been identified, was at the scene when officers arrived. The investigation does not support that a kidnapping took place or that Piedra was veering from Copus' destination. This is where she got caught up at, the release continued. Investigators believe Copus was visiting her boyfriend in El Paso. She used the ride service to meet him at the casino. According to the affidavit, she became nervous when she saw signs for Suarez, which is located across the border from El Paso. Uber said in a statement that the company will cooperate with investigators and had been in touch with Garcia's family. We are horrified by these riders' actions, Uber said. Now, Nessa girl, the first thing I want to bring up is the fact that if her boyfriend beat the police to the scene of the crime, why is it he couldn't pick her ass up? That's number one. It's your boyfriend fault you in jail, Miss Copus. Number two, from the reports that we reading so far, there was no dialogue with the man just yet about, were you taking me, were you not taking me? Now listen, here's the thing. I feel really bad for this woman. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this lady done fucked around and finna go to prison by mistake. I 100% believe, and this is as a result of all the U.S. propaganda that gets funneled through our media from Mexico, that this lady got in this Uber. There probably was a language barrier between her and the gentleman. She saw that sign that said Mexico, and she freaked out. And she shot the man. And unfortunately, the evidence, the Uber ride charts, the man's background, his character does not support him kidnapping her and taking her to Mexico. As a matter of fact, as I was reading up on the story, there were a lot of people who dropped out in the comments and said they recently moved to El Paso, or when they did move to El Paso, they got nervous because riding on that particular highway, they would pass that sign thinking that they were entering into Mexico. But once you pass that exit, you're still on said highway. I can 100% understand how this lady got nervous enough and scared enough to shoot this man. And unfortunately, now her life is finna be ruined because there still has to be some type of punishment and recompense for this. I mean, you can't just go into court and be like, Judge, I'm sorry, I was scared. I killed him because I thought he was going to kidnap me and it was a mistake. Oops. As much as I would like her to get off, because I don't believe that she had any intent to get in that Uber and do anything wrong to that man, I think she was scared. And it just sucks. And this brings me to a larger point. This is why news, media, race baiting, and propaganda needs to come to an end. All right? The fear that she had of this man and that fear that she had of him going into Mexico is the same type of fear that people who have lack of exposure to different cultures and different people have. It's the same fear when a certain type of black person goes into a community where this person has never seen a black person. They instantly believe everything they've seen on the news or seen on Law and Order SVU. The way the media has portrayed isolated events coming out of Mexico would have you thinking that Mexico is filled with ISIS and the goddamn Taliban, where in all actuality, statistically speaking, most of us are more likely to get shot and or kidnapped in the neighborhoods we live in than we are in Mexico. Mexico is a huge country. What part of Mexico is the cartel in? You see what I'm saying? And these are all of the things that we don't get the details on. But the minute somebody hear Mexico, the ignorance in them automatically triggers, I'm going to die. Matter of fact, my ass going to Mexico August 31st through September 4th. I'm going to one of them festivals. I'm flying into Cancun and going to Playa Riviera. I believe I'll be down in Mexico, or whatever the case may be. But again, this is what happens and how people react when propaganda is spread. The media hops on one particular aspect of something without reporting all the details, and people form these types of opinions. We see it every day with Fox News, with what they do with racial issues. We see it on the CNN side, the ABC, NBC, CBS side, the way, they attack issues and have us all twisted up about these Republicans and these conservatives. Granted, half the shit they be saying it do be true about their ass, but it's propaganda slinging on both sides that leads to these irrational fears in people. And it's a damn shame that this woman is going to end up going to prison, and she honestly was fearing for her life. I hope that there is some type of middle ground for this when it comes to punishment, but she did shoot and kill somebody who didn't mean her any harm. I just don't think oops, I'm sorry works. And since I'm no longer trying to work down in the legal department at Keisha's desk, it's 5 o'clock. At 5:30, I officially get off and return to my original assignment on the 8th floor in the county. I ain't gonna have to touch it no more. But y'all, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Y'all work, I apologize for misreporting the Carlisha Hood story in the beginning. Again, like I said, it's not laziness on my part or me just talking out the side of my ass. As far as I was concerned, I had read that from reputable news sources, and that's what I regurgitated in return. And we all know that information, stories, cases develop. And I came back as things developed and things changed, and I cleaned it up and followed suit. So, anywho, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. Y'all hoes be sure to tune in to TGIF 5 days a week. Oh, July 3rd. Y'all, I'll be in New Orleans. Me, Claudia, and Al are going to be in New Orleans this weekend, y'all. So if y'all want to hang out with us. But I'm hosting a brunch. And guess what? Due to the sponsors and their generous donations, the brunch is actually free. But you got to get a ticket. You got to go to www.trillmagnolia, TRILL magnolia.com to get your ticket. I'll be at the Ace Hotel from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. for the Beauties and Blossoms brunch hosted by me on Saturday, July 3rd during the Essence Festival. So y'all hoes, if y'all going to be in New Orleans, come down there and eat with the dog. Let's talk shit, slap five, roll our kiki, and seduce some gentlemen callers. And I'll call y'all later. Bah.